Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my Patreon supporters, Ben. Thanks for your support. Now if you check your notices, we do have a bit of a surprise, although somewhat expected update as well. And so we do have another Fateful encounter, the 7 days encounter. So again, for those who are relatively new to the game, at the beginning of every month, there is a kind of a featured Fateful encounter. They feature 3 units, and in this case, you do get an increased chance of getting one of the 3 featured units, although it is a paid banner, 1,000 paid stones. And so therefore, you can see the 3 featured units are AS Renri, Philo, and AS Alulu. So Renri AS, of course, is a relatively older unit. She does have the ability to side grade to normal style Renri, which is a very, very powerful dual debuffer, non-elemental slash, and also can really control the game with her speed down 50. In terms of Philo, Philo with Manifest is actually quite useful, can boost slash attacks by 50% and increased damage for himself. And finally, of course, AS Alulu is one of the more recent slash zone setters, pretty decent wind DPS as well. Needs a little bit of setup, but after all, not bad as a slash zone unit, although like I said, you do have the likes of Cress as well as Radius, which is has a different function. But that being said, if you are using a wind slash team, Alulu would definitely be useful as a wind as a slash zone setter for your wind slash DPS. Alright, so let's bring up the dreams so you can see the odds, and for those again who are relatively familiar with it or have been playing the game for some time, you'll know that each of these 3 featured units will be increased in odds on the 10th pull to 7.77%. 3 times 77%. So it's around 20% chance of getting one of the 3 featured units. And then obviously the rest of it, the 80%, is kind of split up with all the different other 5 stars currently in the game, up to the most recent units, of course. AS Victor, for example, Garen Barrel, AS Tsubame, Nakoko, of course, is still here, and so on and so forth. We can scroll down. T Maiden, AS Myunfa, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And of course, after that, you do get the chances of getting those 3s, 4s, 3.5s, and bots, Rainbow Sisters, and Knights. Alright, so again, AS Renri, Philo, and an AS Alulu. So, should you summon? Now, in my opinion, there have been better deals more recently in the store. Of course, you do have the Fateful Encounter Encore Ovation Attackers. Even the healers have some benefits if you haven't used some of the other Fatefuls. Obviously, there's AS Victor, there's AS Myunfa, and so on and so forth. And of course, if for those who haven't summoned on the Star Dream, you can also consider those much more valuable picks, since the units you get are more recent and definitely in some cases power creeping over these 3. Now the problem with these 3 units are, unfortunately, they are actually a lot older than some more recent units, and so their overall damage multiplier is a little bit less than desired. Although, like I said, of the 3, I would definitely feel that AS Renri, being the ability of side grade to normal style Renri, is a very useful unit. The problem is with useful units is I don't think they're absolutely required for your team, except maybe in super boss fights where you really need that dual debuff plus speed down to help kind of control the battle. Same thing with Philo. Hey, after Manifest, he's not bad. Boosting water teams, boosting water slash. Like I said, almost like a guaranteed sword, axe, slash katana prayer. Plus 50% increased damage for those types. And he does a little bit more damage himself. And same thing with AS Alulu. I have side graded my 4.5 Alulu to AS Alulu, and let me tell you, she's definitely not bad at all. But if you have a pretty solid roster, I would definitely not say that any of these 3 units are absolutely necessary. And so if you're only a light spender or occasional spender, I would advise to opt out of this 7 days Fateful. If you're a heavy spender and you really just don't mind spending for the additional light or shadow, or on the off chance of maybe potentially getting a different 5-star that you could use, sure, I mean you can spend on that. But for most people who are relatively limited in funds, I would advise against that. Like I said, there are better options, and we only have a few more banners until we really catch up to some of the more powerful units in Japan. There's obviously AS Chio, Pichika, there's AS, Kikyo. There's a few other ones coming out, even AS Hardy. And if we do get the same banners as Japan, when AS Akane comes out, we should have the chance of getting what they call a Star Dream Manifest encounter, where you'll have a more limited Star Dream, but you can pick from any unit where it already has a previous Manifest fight. So anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think of this banner, if you're planning to spend 1,000 paid stones on the banner, or if you're planning to pass. Keep in mind that this one only lasts for 7 days, whereas some of the other banners are obviously in play for more than 7 days. And so if you're itching for some limited time offers, this one might foot the bill for you. Anyways, I was hoping that this notice was going to be for one of the more cool updates, such as AS Akane's Manifest fight. But unfortunately, it looks like we probably have to wait a few more days, or potentially even early into next week, before we see a so-called real update to catch up a little bit closer to Japan. I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting there sooner rather than later. For those who are not familiar with the Another Eden subreddit, if you check that out, you'll see that a few of our members have posted some of the most recent Japan live stream updates, as well as some Twitter updates. There are quite a few new cool units, some new chapters, episodes, and even the newest possible Mythos side episodes as well. Lots and lots of awesome new content for Another Eden, and I'm hoping Global gets really, really close, or even catches up completely to Japan in the next few months. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.